Yo, what up everyone, it's TyranitarTube, and this is some pretty major news we got here. So I don't know if you guys remember, but last week I made a video talking about how there are certain Pokemon that had these placeholder images left on the Global Link site. One of them was Lycanroc, and that's why we're speculating that maybe there's two new Lycanroc forms. We speculated that before the Lycanroc form was revealed, and it turned out to be real. And the other Pokemon we did that for was actually Mimikyu. Mimikyu has another placeholder on the Pokemon Global Link site, and some people have tried to hack it and they got like a big Mimikyu. So people are really thinking that maybe there's a placeholder and maybe there really is an exposed Mimikyu that they're yet to reveal. And then we get to today. So today, some odd stuff has been happening. I'll start off saying that a new preview came out for the next Pokemon episode. This is the episode right after the Rockruff episode. So the previous episode was called Rockruff and the Guardian Deity of the Runes of Life, and the next one is called Mimikyu's Disguise. So this has people thinking maybe Mimikyu's disguise will be uncovered and its true form will be exposed. But of course, that seemed like a far-fetched thought, especially a week ago when we didn't think they would reveal something new in the anime, and they did. They revealed the Rockruff form, so maybe this could be an opportunity to reveal that new Mimikyu form. And there's more to it. I want you guys to take a look at this preview. First, Jessie is falling from the sky with her Mimikyu. Yeah, she has a Mimikyu. And James is running with, look at this, James is running with this Meowth. Mimikyu is exposed. Mimikyu's trying to get undercover. It's going in a paper bag. These guys are concerned because, you know, if you stare at Mimikyu, you die. You know, they said that about Shedinja too. You stare at it, your soul gets sucked out. So they're trying to get a dress for Mimikyu. So let's see, here's round 1, got a wig Mimikyu. Round 2, got a bucket Mimikyu. Round 3, the freaking bag rips. That's what I'm saying. Mimikyu's hinted at being exposed in this next episode. So right now, everything kind of seems in order. After they just revealed a brand new Lycanroc form in last week's episode, it actually makes a lot of sense for them to be exposing the new Mimikyu form in this episode and then talking about it everywhere on their site, on Pokenchi, putting some trailers up. So this is interesting. It's really cool because if you guys remember Mimikyu's Pokedex entries, it tried to go under these rags and stuff and disguise itself so it could get closer to people in Pokemon. Who knows if Mimikyu actually intends to be this evil and dark Pokemon? Maybe it's just this cute fairy type Pokemon that just turns out to be also a ghost. So yeah, look at its Pokedex entries. Its actual appearance is unknown. A scholar who saw what was under its rag was overwhelmed by terror and died from the shock. A lonely Pokemon, it conceals its terrifying appearance beneath an old rag so it can get closer to people in Pokemon. After going to all the effort of disguising itself, its neck was broken. Whatever is inside is probably unharmed, but it's still feeling sad. If its neck is broken or its rag is torn during an attack, it works through the night to patch it. So it sounds like this Pokemon you're supposed to feel bad for. It's isolated, no one wants to be with it, but it wants some friends. And if you think about Mimikyu, there's so much untold about it. I was saying this before. It seems like they just scrapped everything about it, and I would believe if they really had all this stuff to show us, an unrevealed form for Mimikyu, maybe like this pure ghost type form. At least it takes away from the Marshadow idea. That's the weirdest idea out there. Let me just go through that. Marshadow is a ghost fighting type. Mimikyu is a ghost fairy type. You look at Marshadow's design, you look at Mimikyu's design, people say Mimikyu is Marshadow, but that doesn't make sense. Marshadow is this like Mew-like legendary. I know it's cool, but that's not what it is. There's something else underneath Mimikyu. So now that that's out of the way, there's one more thing to look at. And before I even get into this, you guys know a few magazines that stuff get revealed in. CoroCoro is the big one, a Japanese magazine that comes out on the 15th of every month. But the reason I'm mentioning this is because you guys have been sending me some sort of CoroCoro leak of a potential Mimikyu exposed form. And I'll show it to you guys right here. And I mentioned the CoroCoro stuff just now because a few of you guys who look like that can tell that that's not CoroCoro, because that text right there is Korean. And CoroCoro is a Japanese magazine. But that doesn't immediately debunk this because stuff has been revealed in all sorts of magazines. There's been things revealed in a Korean magazine before, so this could very well be an exposed-like form for Mimikyu, but at the same time, remember, this is fake leak season, so we don't know what's real and we don't know what's fake. This does kind of seem overboard for a Mimikyu's exposed form. And the big thing is that it doesn't look like it's got a neck to break. Like, I mean, yes, it's a ghost type, so maybe it doesn't really have a neck, and maybe they're just talking about how Mimikyu just like gets loose after you hit it, but this thing does look a bit overkill for what's under Mimikyu. One way they could deal with having to have to use a form like this is you catch a Mimikyu, its abilities disguise, and when you hit it, it acts as a substitute. Maybe you can catch another Mimikyu with a different ability, and when you hit it, it transforms into its exposed form. So yeah guys, that is really crazy. There's reason for this to be real. Jessie's Mimikyu is a big deal in the anime. It's getting exposed in the anime, and the fact that this is not Korokoro actually gives reason to maybe believe it. Maybe some Korean magazine's about to reveal this next week, and we just got it a bit early. But yeah, guys, it's just a quick update. I'm gonna leave you guys there, but I do want to ask you guys a couple things. One, what do you guys think Mimikyu's exposed form looks like? Do you think it looks something like that, or do you think it looks something more cute? Actually, that could be the most hideous looking thing, but it tries to be nice to you. Like, it tries to just be friends with you and act cute. But yeah, guys, would it be a pure ghost type? Would it have a new ability, and that's how Mimikyu works? And let me know what you think they're trying to do with this Mimikyu form. When Ash sees it, when you get to a Cerulous trial, when you get to meet it in Ultra Sun and Moon. Remember though, this is not confirmed yet. It's just some Mimikyu leak that came out of nowhere. It's Korean, it's not Korokoro, and this is all just speculation. So let me know all that in the comments below. And as always, guys, I'll see you on the next video. Peace.